The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Sejam bem-vindos. Oh, I was going to start my Portuguese show. It happens all the time. Welcome to another edition of Table Topics. With me is John.
Yep.
We've been off the air for 3 or 4 weeks now, just because of the City of Fall River. The station's been having a lot of debates, and then was the candidates, and then was election night. Yeah. So, but we're back for our
another edition.
Another edition. I guess we started another. We started another year now, or no? We started in January, right? Yeah, January, we started in January. So we're just ending this year, but. After the elections, very brief, because I don't think we have much to say about the elections. Any comments on the election?
I was a little surprised. I have to say I was surprised with the city council race.
Okay.
I was really surprised with the city council race. I was surprised that Chris Peckham didn't make it this time. I was really surprised he didn't.
Well, on my opinion, and that's what I hear out there, number one was that he creates, last year or 2 years ago, he creates like a enemy bound that deleted his Facebook just because he was a big supporter of Donald Trump, and he was really getting into people obsession.
I don't have Facebook, so I don't know.
So
you know what I mean?
Right there, I think he lost some people just because, and it was always my opinion. Doesn't matter who you vote for. Let's keep it friendly. Let's we don't have to hit each other. We're gonna agree to disagree and move on. Yeah. But some people out there, they really get very aggressive.
It goes both ways, Carlos. It goes both ways.
Exactly. So I think right there he lost some votes. And another thing that I heard and I've been hearing for the past year is that he dedicates himself just to one issue: safety, police, fire department.
I wish we would get councils to do that, because they're all over the place.
So. So because he was just concerned with one thing and just fight for one thing, some people thought that even they agreed with, but they said that the city is really having a lot of problems that need to be fighted. Yeah, I was surprised too when I saw the final votes. And I cannot say that I was surprised that Joe Camara got back.
I wasn't surprised.
I was not was not surprised there. Because with so many good candidates, I was surprised that Andrew made it.
Yeah, I was as well.
Yes, I was surprised that
this is the first time out there.
Exactly. Well, he's very well known on the Portuguese community, being a teacher of the Portuguese Portuguese school, and being involved with the Portuguese community, and a principal now for 3 or 4 years at the Espírito Santo school. I think gave them the bounce. I think give them the extra votes, because he didn't need them. He didn't need much. Give him that probably 100 or 200 votes for him just to get over the line. Another surprise that I got was that Michelle Dion almost lost it for 100 votes.
She did.
She almost lost it for 100 votes. And Michelle Dion, according to the media, is probably she was the counsel that gets prepared for meetings, that she, gets very well prepared, that has the right questions, and all of that. So I was kind of surprised.
The paper, you said? The newspaper says that?
No, I mean, if you hear radio stations and everything, everybody was always.
Who calls the radio? You get 100 people that really call. I'll call occasionally, once a month I'll call. I think what may have hurt Michelle is that thing when Pat Casey came in, and at the end she said, "Get her out of here." I don't think that helped her. I really don't think that helped her. I think that really hurt her a lot. What I found pretty interesting was with that is that she was part of the group that came in and would do that and go before. And when somebody came in and did it to her, she was very upset about it. So I think that hurt her. I really do. And I think it was very unprofessional to scream, "Get her out of here."
She barely made it, but she made it.
Yeah, but I think that hurt her. That's just my own opinion. I don't think a counselor should be screaming, get her out of here. I think that was very unprofessional of her.
Another thing that I called the radio the next day of the elections was that I think that I got my rights taken away from me
from what?
On the election night. And
hey, join the club, buddy. Join the club.
So, I mean, people that follow politics and like the results and everything, I have a tradition for over 20 years. That day, doesn't matter how busy I am. 5 o'clock, I go home, I take my shower, I put my good clothes on, and I go down to City Hall, down to the election office, and I love to see those numbers and those precincts coming in, and the numbers going and changing, how this one was on top and then now he lost and then he, I mean, it's a process. It's a tradition for some people like me that used to go to City Hall. I got to City Hall at 7 o'clock and the doors were closed. And was somebody behind the door not allowing people inside. So I call.
So who is it? Who's behind the door?
An employee. They paid an employee to be behind the door, not to let people in. So the first thing that came to my mind, John, was the lawsuits that was people that got it, that they could not observe the votes coming in, and they will not. They were far 10 feet away from the table. They actually could not see it.
So now you see the light, don't you?
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Ah, here we go.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Exactly.
Was how 2 years ago, people got in trouble for not letting people close to those tables to watch those numbers come in.
They didn't get into trouble, Carlos. What trouble
No,
did
but
they get into?
I mean, the people tried to sue and everything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Now we have an election in a city, and the only place that should be out of all the places that should be open, it's City Hall and election night. Okay? And City Hall is closed, and even worse, the city was paying. I don't know who made the decision. I called the elections office, Kelly Young. She's been out of the office, but I want to know who gave the order and who paid that person to be there behind that door, not allowing people to get in the building when an elections was going on at the election office, and we were not allowed inside. So I got very disturbed by that. I felt like the rights were taken away from me.
Let me interrupt you for 1 minute. When I would talk about this 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, you never got upset. You never got upset. You said, "Oh, that's not happening. None of that stuff's happening." Remember?
Well, they were inside. They were inside. How close they can get to the table, that was the question. That was the question.
Well, if you can't
and then
read,
was, but
if you can't read what's there, You know, you can say I'm in the room, but if you're over there looking at it, I can't see.
And you know,
what's the
another
use of me
familiar,
being there, right?
you know something that that it's so familiar to is when they were complaining, they would say, well, it was boxes brought in, you know, and it was not counted or whatever. Right now, I felt like lost. You know, I felt like lost. Where am I going to get these numbers now? Now I'm not going to believe no numbers. I'm not going to believe any numbers that's going to come in.
Welcome to the club.
You know what I'm saying? And it was very disturbing. And during the night where I go, I had no choice. I had to go to one of the candidates, to watch the numbers.
Yeah.
And guess what? Both of them were giving the speeches when the numbers were not even on TV, was not even on the radio. Where those numbers come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I mean, I think to me, because I was not able to follow the process, to see those numbers come in, and looking on the TV and looking on my radio, watching and listen to my radio, and they're still counting numbers, and now the mayor's giving the winning speech already, at the same time that the loser are giving this low speech too. And I'm like, but where's the numbers? How these people got numbers? Yeah. You know, so I find it, to me, it's like election never happened. That's how I feel. Election never happened because I got that stole from me.
Well, did you ever find out what happened? Why, is there
no,
new security?
I talked to somebody on the elections office, and when she comes in, she's going to give me a call. Because according to somebody that I spoke to, a lawyer that I spoke to, a friend, he said that it was my right to be there, and that place should never be closed during election night. So if that's the case, I want, and they want me to complain to the state about it, okay? I want an apology from whoever paid that person to be there, locking those doors, and now allowing citizens, taxpayers, and voters to go and preserve an election night. Period. So this was to me was an election that actually didn't happen. Didn't happen because I didn't follow the numbers. So they could tell me all the numbers they want. This time I was not there. I didn't preserve those numbers come in by precinct with the police officers bringing in the information into the elections office, and those numbers being released to me precinct by precinct so I can see who win and who lost on those precincts. And I think they stole that right from me, and I think the last they can do is an apology, and I want them to make sure that this will never happen again. That door should be open until election, it's over, until we got the numbers. Yeah. Period.
If it's happened before, I mean, there's got to be a reason why they did it, but...
In 20 years, I'm telling you, this never happened in 20 years because it's tradition. That's my tradition. Election day is a city. Election day. Doesn't matter how, and believe me, I was doing some plumbing work. I was, a mess. But I went home. 5 o'clock, I went home. I took my shower, put my clothes, and get out of the house again to go and fill the election. And I had to turn around because they didn't allow me.
Well, I hope you get some answers.
I hope so.
I hope you get some answers.
I hope so. Yeah. And I want to make sure that will never happen again.
Should it?
But for the city to be paying that person to be behind the door, I want to know who gave that person orders to be behind the door and don't let nobody in.
Yeah. Did you see anybody in there?
Was nobody there.
Oh.
There was nobody there. It was just this lady sitting on a chair On her phone, when I tried the door, she told me to go around. So when I went around, the only door that was open was the precinct door. But I'm not there to vote, so I'm not going to go there. Okay? They can give me the excuse that, oh, you could get in by the precinct door. No, I'm not there to vote. Those doors should be open.
Yeah.
And that's not an excuse to have somebody there, okay, watching the doors. If you put somebody there watching the doors, it's just for one purpose, not to let people in.
I hear you.
And with that, we lost probably 10 minutes of it. But I think it's something. I think it's something that people need to put their minds. They have rights, and this was a right. Maybe, I don't care if it's only 10 people that go down there, but they have the right to be there, and they have the right, those doors to be open for them get in and out when they decide to.
Welcome to the new America.
Okay, so another issue, John,
yes.
that I would like to get your opinion about is this Congress change. They want to split Fall River, New Bedford, put Fall River with Newton and all that. I have my opinion. I hope they showed, because today was the meeting during 1 o'clock, started at 1 o'clock, and because I was working, I was able just to do a 3-minute video and send it to them. I hope they used the video with my opinion, because I could not, because of work, I could not attend the
What was
Zoom
your
meeting.
opinion? Since it's public.
Yeah, since it's public, I don't agree in splitting Fall River and New Bedford. Number one, because we have a lot in common. We all look for the same thing. Financially, we are as close as we can get from each other. Whatever New Bedford needs, we need. Whatever we need, they need. I think we should keep moving together. We have a lot of things that we benefit because New Bedford got it, and New Bedford got benefits from stuff that Fall River got it. So to split us and put us competing with Newton, okay, I think it's a big mistake for all the reasons on the map, for all the reasons. We cannot compete with Newton financially, and the stuff that we look for, they are a lot more advanced than us. So we're never going to win nothing, because Newton's going to get the most of it.
Well,
and one more thing that I said on my video, I take the politics aside. I don't care who's going to represent me. I don't care, because they're talking about the next 10 years. Well, 2 years from now, maybe the representative, it's gone. He move on to a different job, or we get somebody else. So why are we going to make a decision just because we want this person to be leading us on this issue? No, take the politics aside. That's the last thing I want to worry about it. I want to worry about it. It's what can we get if we are competing with New Bedford or Newton. And it's not, to me, it's very clear.
This, my feeling with all this is that this funding that we get, all this money that comes here, comes with a price. Comes with a price.
I believe it.
So if we're willing to take all these things and then take the price, take the prize, and it's really not a prize, then we do whatever. I think the city should be one. You know what I mean? I think the whole city should be one, but our representatives, the people that we have, I'm not impressed with them. You know what I mean? I'm just not impressed with some of the things. Now that we have all this money, but any of these representatives, from our senators to our congressmen, they should have been helping us with this CSO project, and we never got anything with it. So I'm not really impressed with any of that.
So why are we fighting this using the excuses of our representatives?
Well, I didn't think it was on the representatives. I thought
Yeah, because now we're going to split, because it's 2 representatives for Fall River, and now will be, if this gets split, we will have just one.
Yeah.
So it will be just one person, you know, will be no division, will be just one person. I mean, to me, that makes no sense. I don't care. I don't care what the guy thinks, you know. It's a politician. He's there, he's a politician. He didn't care about us. He's a politician. So guess what? If today it's a man and tomorrow it's a woman, it's not going to make a difference. What we need to base our decision is the 10 years, the next 10 years, where can we go and what can we get? Independent, who's going to represent us?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Like I said, I'd rather see the whole city be covered by one person. I really would. You know what I mean? I think that's a given. I think it's better to have, but on the other hand, I'm not really happy with either of them. I'm not happy with, you know, we've never really got it. It's like when something happens and it's an election year, it's like, come down, and they're hugging you, blah, 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 you know, we're going to do all this. And then a month after the election, they forgot about you, and they're back in Washington or whatever. I've loved when I listen, like this week, the congressmen and the senators are on vacation. They're supposed to go out to the constituents, right?
Yes.
Do you ever see a town hall like in these other states, like down in Florida, whatever, they have town halls? I've never seen one, have you? If they have town halls, they're probably in Newton, they're probably in Cambridge, they're probably in Boston. We never see them come down here because I don't think they really want to hear what we have to say, you know? So that's just my opinion.
Well, and you know, like I said, my opinion, it's based not in politician, but it's based on our needs and what can we get if we go this way or this way. Okay, but I have to say, and I have said it this many times. You know, all this money comes with a price tag that we cannot afford. Okay, because there we go. It goes another 10 million, but we got the 10 million. It's not enough to pay for the trouble that we got. Okay, we got 10 million, and with that 10 million, we need to spend 20 million. So that's one thing that I keep saying, that Fall River needs to start cutting this money. We need to start. This is like your parents giving you a check every month. Okay, you're never going to stand on your own if you keep getting money from that.
And what's going to happen is we've had 1 million people enter this country illegally this year, right? And we see what's happened, that they are taking them because they're overwhelmed in Texas and these places. So there was something on the news the other day that they had maybe a couple thousand people were flown into like upstate New York, Westchester County. They're doing that. This is nothing new. This has been happening for 20 years where they end up putting folks in these other areas. The area that was really affected was Lynn, Massachusetts, probably about maybe 10 years ago. Lynn, Massachusetts, a whole bunch of people were sent up there, you know, to resettle them. But yeah, they gave them money, but all these services they had to provide with the schools, the second languages that they had to teach. So this money comes with a price.
Same thing is if we talk about treatments. Okay, Fall River gets a lot of money to help treatments, but the problems that comes attached with those treatments, okay, it's a lot higher than what we're getting. A lot higher than what we're getting. So that's why I said I cannot see the city just you know, dropping everything at once, but slowly let's start make our money and make our revenues. Somehow that slowly we need to start dropping this money and getting this money and getting all this trouble.
And I you know, this is probably, and I really haven't watched these meetings, but I did watch them in the past where we were giving tips away. And I agree we got to do it, but there are certain companies, and I don't know if these companies were.
They will come. If they want to come, they will come.
There's certain companies now, we're getting Chipotle in. I don't know whether they got anything. We're going to have in the chicken place. I hope we didn't give them tips to come in here. Because they're corporations, they're national corporations. They wanted to come in here anyway. So I think if we were able to get all those things,
they probably wouldn't have gotten. The only ones that got tips, it's our people.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's
That's our people.
Yeah.
If you know me, I can get a tip.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
to me, I just would like to see them shorter in duration. You know what I mean? Shorter periods of time so they can get back onto the tax roll and pay some of these things.
And we have a perfect example with Amazon. The money that we gave to Amazon, okay, you think they will think twice about closing Amazon?
No.
No. This is companies, they have money to build another 5 stores like that anywhere they want it. So they're going to grab as much they can for free.
Yep.
On top of it, they don't even have the manpower they were promised to have.
Yeah, well,
okay?
especially now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
now it's even worse.
We gave them all the tips.
Yeah.
For Fall River people, probably we'll be lucky if half that people,
Yeah,
it's from Fall River.
yeah, but you know what, Carlos, no matter where, I've never really worked here. In my whole adult life, 36, 7, 30, you know, I've never worked in Fall River.
But the company, the proposed was, you know, we're going to give him tips because we want them here because we have the employees.
No, I get it. But I mean, but if they can't get the employees, they can't get the employees. You know what I mean? That we can't like say, you got to hire all Fall River people. If we don't have the employees here,
no,
you know what I mean?
and I'm not blaming them.
Yeah.
I'm blaming is the people that was after them.
Yeah.
Give them everything for free.
Yeah.
Okay. With the promise that they're going to have employees, knowing that they're not going to have the employees for it, but they want to be on the front page of the paper, you know, with Amazon. And what happens now in 6 years, because they already are run for 4 or 5, and 6 years or 4 years, whatever, will be 10-year contract. They're done. They're out of the tips. Guess what? They're going to put everything on the table and say, we don't even have people to work.
Yeah.
We're losing money.
Yeah, well then I don't see Amazon shutting down anytime too soon. You know what I mean? I really don't. I mean, they are being bombarded with business because of this whole thing here. You know what I mean? This whole thing we're going through. And I think once we start picking up in the winter again, we're going to have the same stuff happen again.
But
you know?
I can see them because they don't going to keep having the money that they used to get for free.
Yeah.
I won't think twice if they have closed it and open somewhere else. They're going to feed them the same thing that we fed them 10 years ago.
Yeah, they may do that.
You know
That's
what I'm
not
saying?
surprising. Yeah,
they're not going to go out of business.
Yeah.
They're just moving where they can make more money.
Exactly.
So that's pretty
hopefully
much
we
what
can
it
get
is.
something out of it. I mean, we St. Anne's at one time, the hospital was a nonprofit. Now it's not a nonprofit anymore, and I believe last time it's probably more now. I think they were giving us more than $1 million in property tax. So it's probably even more than that. That's what we need. We need a lot more companies like that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we have to look at everything that we do as well. You know what I mean? There's certain things that we have to look at, and you know, we may not be able to afford that anymore. So see what happens.
So that's
another take.
Another take. That's it. We will have more to talk about next week at the same time. Thank you, everyone, for being there. Thank you, John.
Have a good night. Yep. Thank you. Have a good night.